ever feel like the room is heavy? Do you ever feel like the room is heavy? Do you ever feel like the room is heavy? Do you ever feel like the room is heavy? Like the air is hot and the air is sweaty? Do you ever feel like the room is heavy? Like you barely breathe. And I'm watching the world go around the window beside me. And I can't sleep. 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 No, I can't. I'm watching the world go around the window beside me. Got a simple idea, I'm gonna make it stick. I wanna say this fast, I wanna do this quick. It goes 1, 2, 3, it goes 1, 2, 3. I got a simple idea, I'm gonna make it stick. I wanna say this fast, I wanna do this quick. It goes 1, 2, 3, it goes.
An album is Farlum den Blian Sprints Heavy ar 98 FM agus Sinead Corja, the last show of 2024. Toshe and Amamax, I will talk to you next year. Buikas O'Cree as an takiacht for this year, and please, as I always say, support the artists any way you can. It all helps. I'll talk to you next year. Slán.
Yeah, 98 FM's Big Breakfast with Rebecca and Brendan.
I had an inflatable chair,
Yeah,
right?
I loved the inflatable furniture.
But
It was such a moment in
I
time.
loved it. I stupidly had the inflatable chair up against a radiator. I came home from school one day and the poor thing had, deflated.
Oh, dear.
So I said, right, this is a sign from the universe, a new me. I went back to the Argos and I must have been, I'd say, about 14. And I came home from Argos with a shag pile rug. I said, I'm mature now. I have grown up and we're leaning into the sort of 70s adult movie vibe.
98 FM's Big Breakfast
With Now. Join the home of brilliant entertainment with shows, movies and sport on Now. Back Monday, January 6th.
98 FM.
I've pretty much given up on dating apps, to be honest.
You're pathetic. Everything about you is an embarrassment. If you leave, you'll never see the kids again. Who'd believe you anyway? That's what abusers tell us. But it's all lies. You deserve to be safe. And when you ask for help, you will be heard.
If you're living with domestic or sexual violence, support is always here. Visit alwayshere.ie or call an Garda Síochána.
Brought to you by the Government of Ireland.
Breaks exclusive discounts on 4 and 5 star Irish hotels. Imagine cosy fireplaces, gourmet dining and luxury spa treatments, perfect for a romantic escape or lively get together with friends. Book your luxury winter hotel break now from just €99 per night midweek and €130 per night at weekends with Go Breaks, as recommended by 98 FM.
Go Breaks.
T's and C's at gobreaks.ie.
On your radio, on the Go Loud player, and on your smart speaker.
Play 98 FM.
98.
It's 11 o'clock. A very good night from the newsroom. Former US President Jimmy Carter has died at the age of 100. He served as the 39th President of the United States from 1977 to 1981. Quisha Conley reports on his life.
James Earl Carter Jr. was born in October 1924 in the small farming town of Plains, Georgia. Before he went into politics, he served in the US Navy and took over his father's peanut farm. He had ancestors from County Antrim and had visited Ireland Ireland a number of times. He had an outstanding post-presidency career and was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 for his lifetime's work of conflict resolution and human rights. Speaking during an interview with the late Time magazine journalist Hugh Sidney in 1996, President Carter recalls dealing with the 52 American diplomats and citizens being held hostage in Iran for 14 months as the most stressful time during his presidency.
I would meet personally with the families of the hostages and try to reassure them of my interest. So that was a very bad time.
Jimmy Carter holds the record for the longest living former US president.
President Michael D. Higgins has paid tribute to the late President Carter, saying he'll be remembered as a principled man who dedicated his life to seeking to advance the cause of peace across the world. Almost uniquely, as a former president, his greatest legacy will, however, perhaps be his distinguished record and commitment to human rights in the decades following his presidency. Taoiseach Micheál Martin added to the tribute, saying President Carter truly lived a life less ordinary, with a deep commitment to peace in the Middle East, human and civil rights, housing and ending the arms race between the United States and the Soviet Union. In other news, Met Éireann are warning of gale force winds in parts of the country tonight. The status yellow wind warning across the coast of Ireland is in place, while a status yellow rain warning will take effect in County Donegal from 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Met Éireann are advising people in County Donegal to prepare for difficult travel conditions, possibly flooding and poor visibility. Meanwhile, the UK Met Office have issued a wind warning for all of Northern Ireland. Shelling hospitals in Gaza is a recipe for death for everybody. That's the warning from an American emergency doctor working at the Al-Aqsa hospital in Gaza. She says hypothermia, malnutrition and preventable diseases are compounded by the constant shelling and displacement. Dr. Mimi Saeed said conditions are difficult to describe and impossible to imagine.
These patients are on life-saving measures inside the hospital. They're, hooked up to medical equipment that they no longer have access to. Not to mention the low temperatures that they're in now. That is a disaster, and it's a recipe for death for everybody.
Almost every one of the 181 people on board a plane which crash-landed in South Korea have been killed. Only 2 crew members have been pulled alive from the wreckage. There are reports the Boeing 737 hit birds as it came into land at Muan Airport. It's 3 minutes past 11. Turning our attention to sport, in soccer, Liverpool have eased to a 5-0 victory over West Ham to end the day 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Notts Forest are their nearest challengers after going second to win a 2-0 win at Everton. Champions Manchester City got past Leicester by the same score, but Tottenham's difficult spell continued with a 2-2 draw against Wolves. It was also 2-2 between Fulham and Bournemouth, while bottom side Southampton lost 2-1 at Crystal Palace. Celtic thrashed bottom side St Johnstone's 4-0 to move 14 points clear to the top of the Scottish Premiership. Manager Brendan Rodgers said his side were outstanding.
Sometimes a top versus bottom game, if you don't have that right mindset, then you can suffer in games like that. But this mindset of this team, they're super prepared. You know, the mentality was great in the game. Focus very good.
Second place Rangers came back from a 2-0 down to draw 2-2 at Motherwell. Aberdeen missed the chance to overtake Rangers as they lost 1-0 at Dundee United in the last game. Darts in the latest 16 is underway at the PDC World Darts Championship tonight. Reigning champion Luke Humphries continues his quest for a back-to-back title when he takes on a 2-time champion Peter Wright, while 2021 winner Gerwyn Price has an all-Welsh clash with longtime friend Johnny Clayton for a place in the last 8. And in racing, Gordon Elliott watched on as he secured a 100th grade victory over his career this afternoon. His mount, Better Days Ahead, stormed to victory in the Neville Hotel's hurdle on the final day of the Leopardstown Christmas Festival. The County Meath trainer also recorded a 2000 winner on Irish soil today and said it's a team effort at Cullentraw.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. But look, the owners I have, the staff I have, and to have for Mick is unbelievable. Michael and Anita, they're brilliant supporters of me. They've backed me through thick and thin, and I'm delighted for them.
And that's your news and sport at 5 minutes past 11.
98 FM and Off the Ball.
With Mondello Park, Ferrari, Porsche, Drift, Formula and their new Audi R8 Supercar experience. See mondellopark.ie.
The Transport for Ireland network in Dublin works later than you think. with a choice of 10 24-hour routes and 12 Nightlink services operated by Dublin Bus and late evening connections operated by Lewis, Iarn Road Éireann and Go Ahead Ireland. There's never been a better time to experience Dublin by night. Plan your journey at transportforireland.ie. We're Transport for Ireland. We're transport for you.
98 FM weather.
With SSE Airtricity, join the thousands of homes and businesses choosing cleaner, renewable energy.
Cloudy and mainly dry tonight with isolated patches of light rain and drizzle, lows of 4 to 9 degrees. Ring in 2025 on New Year's Eve with Mark McCabe, only on 98 FM.
This is 98 FM.
Hi, I'm Emma Tyrrell. You'll normally find me reading the news every morning with Rebecca and Brendan on 98 FM's Big Breakfast. But when I'm not waking up Dublin with the latest news, I love nothing more than exploring the city to find weird and wonderful facts and tales about the capital. We call it Did You Know?
Did You Know? With Emma Tyrrell on 98 FM.
Over the next hour, we'll tell you about the Dublin link with the MGM Lion. You'll find out how the 40-foot got its name and that hundreds of wild wallabies live on an island off Dublin. Stay with us as we reveal the secrets of Dublin on Did You Know?
98 FM.
Don't want no fly.